On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks are holding on to their trade pieces too tightly. They got to figure out something. Do something at the deadline. We'll tell you what that is coming up. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Nick, that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog, Dwight Powell.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years. Thanks for being in every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen to the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network out there. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use this code Locked On for $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, co-host, media member, covering the Mavs for over 10 years, right alongside me, the trade deadline Duchess, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
I'm currently frustrated. I've been in the garage working on my washing machine for a long time, and I don't know what to do now. I feel like I'm just destroying it now.
You could trade it for, like, Jackie Moon. Do you remember?
I'm down to do any type of trade. We need some trade action this week.
We do.
And as always, the post-game prodigy for the Great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. That's right. It's a three-man weave. What you got for me, Slightly Biased?
This is why renting is king.
Yeah, don't buy a house from somebody that has to replace their toilet because there are roots in the line. Don't buy a house. Today's episode, we're going to get into all kinds of different things. We're going to talk about the trade deadline. We'll talk about best teams for Giannis. We could go anywhere in this episode. We'll talk about our final predictions for Anthony Davis, the Mavs GM search. But let's start here, gentlemen. Trade deadline is coming up. It is this week, and we will be watching it. We will be sending out all kinds of texts and messages to our text line members anytime any kind of rumors happen. So subscribe to that text line. Links in the description and the QR code. But the one thing from Mark Stein that happened today that I thought was kind of interesting is he said, I'm told that Dallas does not want to trade Naji Marshall or Max Christie, who arrived in Dallas alongside Anthony Davis, while continuing to explore potential moves involving Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, and D'Angelo Russell. The Mavs are also open to trades for Anthony Davis, but they are okay with holding him through the deadline and going into the offseason and trying to figure out what happens there. The Mavs also have not really made much progress, it sounds like, on a GM search. They're just going to wait for that until the end of this season as well, it seems like. Or at least that's what it looks like from the outside. And so now I'm sitting here thinking, all right, are the Mavericks going to make any moves at this deadline? Are they going to make it? Are they going to just hold on and wait till they get the GM in place? Are they going to decide, all right, we're just going to keep all these guys, stand pat, and then move into the offseason? And then they have a lot of work to do in the offseason if they do that. And it kind of makes me wonder if they're just holding on to these guys too close to the vest because they don't want to make a bad trade because they're, Matt Riccardi, Michael Finley, they're interim co-GMs. They'd have to answer for those trades. They may be vying for the job, and then they're auditioning for it in a way, and they don't want to make a mistake. It is an interesting, precarious situation the Mavericks are in, where every other team in the league has one GM, and the Mavericks have two right now. Isaac.
Yeah, I mean, we had Tim McMahon on Friday, and we asked him pretty straight up, like, hey, what's the chances that Jason Kidd's going to be the next GM of the team? He had a fun response. If you haven't went back or you haven't seen that episode,
he didn't say zero. He didn't say 0%.
He just said it was an interesting concept, guys.
It's a concept we've been talking about since November.
I know. I went back and found like a one more thing I did right after the Nico hiring. I was like, are we sure Kidd's not the GM right now? And it was kind of like tongue in cheek, kind of like funny, but I'm like, I don't know if it's as funny now. But no, I mean, I think it's more about, for me, I think it's just more about the deadline's coming up, and this week is when we see the most of the action. I mean, we got a couple trades over the weekend. I think a lot of teams, a lot of the leagues waiting on Giannis right now in that situation. And as a result, it just wouldn't shock me at all if we just start seeing, trades happening left and right on Wednesday and Thursday, maybe even starting on Monday, because, you got a player like Mikal Bridges that can't be traded until February 1st, which is, on Sunday. So I think this week we'll see some action, and I think Dallas will be in some of the action. I think they'll definitely make some moves.
Yeah, I think it's just the whole league is just kind of on wait and see right now because, this Giannis domino, it's just, I don't think this trade deadline will be good at all if Giannis isn't traded, because every team that thinks that they're suitors for him will just hold on to every single chip they own in an effort to, make a play for Giannis in a few months. But yeah, I mean, I saw a tweet that's usually around this time. This was a couple days ago before we got the DeAndre Hunter trade yesterday, before we got the huge Vic Krejci trade today. That honestly, Vit's a pretty good player. I actually kind of like that pickup for Portland.
There's a sneaky part of that deal I want to mention in a little bit. But
okay, I love that. That's called podcasting, folks. Keep them locked in. But yeah, usually around this time, there's been like 4 or 5 trades. Which isn't that much. Like, I think up until yesterday, we're like, where are the trades? There's no trades at all. It usually is a flurry in the days leading up to the trade deadline, and more specifically the day before and the day of. So we'll see. The Mavs will do something 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think for Dallas, it's about trying to shed some money. We asked Tim McMahon about most likely to be traded. Daniel Gafford, Stein mentioned Klay Thompson too. D'Lo's obviously, just on Zillow every day looking for.
Can we talk about the report Stein said about D'Lo? Or Mark Stein said the Mavericks fielded some unexpected trade interest in D'Angelo Russell. It's never a good sign when you're fielding unexpected interest.
Can you imagine that call coming in? Riccardi.
We'd like to talk. We'd like to talk to you guys about a player on your team.
Finn, someone called about D'Lo.
Like, oh my God, put him on speakerphone.
Hurry up! Come on!
Hold on, guys, quiet. They're in the room.
That is hilarious. That was the wording of that report.
But the report then went on. He said that it was from the Bucks. The Bucks were interested in him before the Giannis trade demand request, whatever he actually wants it to be called. And it was contingent on D'Angelo Russell turning down his player option next year, which is more than what the veteran minimum is going to be. And so D'Angelo Russell balked at that, is what Mark Stein said, which of course he did. And so now the Mavs have this contract of D'Angelo Russell that's going to be a bad contract if Jason Kidd isn't going to play him at all. That's just more dead money on the Mavs. So I think I agree with you guys. They'll do something because they have to move off of some of these deals. And D'Angelo Russell seems like a prime one that they'll just move. But my question is, will they have to give up something to get off of D'Angelo Russell? Probably. The Kings had to give up Keon Ellis. They had to pay Keon Ellis to get off the Dennis Schroeder money. Like that was the price that they had to pay, which is just,
that's the Kings. I mean,
you cannot. I'm sorry. There's not a single ounce of coping I've seen on Twitter that can convince me that deal is even remotely good for Sacramento.
For the Kings, I mean, you get DeAndre Hunter, and then I was listening to James Ham, our Locked On Kings guy, and he was like, yeah, the Kings have been talking about all year they want to move Keegan Murray back to the 3, and you get DeAndre Hunter, and you're like, I don't know how that's gonna I don't know how this accomplishes this.
3 and D without either DeAndre Hunter.
I mean, the Kings are probably not done, but I think right now, as it currently stands, they're a second apron team next year.
Really?
And with the Hunter money. And it's like Sacramento and Dallas Spider-Man lean of like, hey, we both suck, but we're supposed to be in the second apron for next year.
It looks like they have 18 in space, but that's before a bunch of deals.
Oh, okay. Well, they got cash to spend.
They do have a bunch of deals. Like, next year for the Kings, Zach LaVine, $49 million, Sabonis, $45, DeRozan, $25. It's non-guaranteed. That's the one that they get taken off. That one would put them over it. 25 for Hunter, 20 for Malik Monk, 24 for Keegan Murray. That's crazy. All those guys. That's getting them nowhere.
I'm willing to bet Monk's on our new team in 5 days. That's the only one I think is like legitimately possible.
I could see Toronto doing the Sabonis thing. If we circle back to Dallas real quick and go back to that Stein,
Dallas.
What you said about Stein about and Naji, I think that's the number one player for me that I'm like, I have no clue what they're gonna do, because it's like locker room wise, fan wise, team fit wise, like we all love Naji. Everybody there loves Naji. What they do with Naji over the next few days, I'm just fascinated with. They're signaling hey, we don't want to trade Naji, but if a team comes in and says, hey, we'll give you a first round pick because we feel like Naji will help put us over the top. If the Lakers come in and they're making a bunch of different moves, and they give you a really good offer for a Naji Marshall, or OKC comes in, they have 1 million picks, and they're like, hey, we would love to add another big defender who can initiate some offense. Naji's having a great year. We'll give you a first round pick. We'll give you, we have 3 next year or this coming draft, so we'll give you one of those. Will Dallas turn that down, or will they say, no, we'd rather keep Naji going into next year? That's the one I have no clue what they'll do.
Interesting. We'll see what happens with the Dallas Mavericks, but Anthony Davis was the big name we talked about for weeks. They were fielding offers for a trade. There's a lot of teams connected to him, and it's been silence since then. Is he going to get traded at the deadline? We'll tell you coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks Daily Fantasy made easy. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks. It's always good to feel right. Prize Picks has a special max discount for the big game live in the app. Right now, Drake May just needs 1 passing yard for the max discount to win, and add another player to the lineup. If it hits, you can cash in. I'm looking at this right now, and if this is right, Prize Picks, I could do more on Drake May, 0.5 passing touchdown. So if he gets 1 touchdown, more on Drake May, 0.5 passing yards. So if he passes for 1 single yard, and more on Kenneth Walker, 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. So if Kenneth Walker scores, Drake May gets a touchdown, then you could go and play all those together on the power play. I put down $20, you can get 52 on it. If I put down, let's say if I put down 100, I can win $260 on that one. So that's almost like free money right there. Download the PrizePicks app and use the code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Do it with the big game, all those picks for the Seahawks and the Patriots. You can also do it for the NBA and all kinds of other stuff. You can combine sports. You can do all kinds of things with PrizePicks. So check it out. PrizePicks, download the app, use the code LOCKEDONNBA.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every single day. Appreciate you for checking out the show and listening. We have a Everydayers Club where you can get ad-free episodes of this show as well as access to our Discord. Go to lockedonmavericks.supercast.com. And right now, if you use the code DEADLINE, you get a free month. It's $5 a month, but you get a free month. So we're giving you $5 basically. But you can also do $50 a year too. That's a pretty good deal if you want to do that. But you get ad-free episodes of this show as well as all kinds of other things from Locked On. So subscribe to the Everydayers Club and you get that. Speaking of Everydayers, shout out to the guy I met at the grocery store today. And he was like, man, it's been 1 year. It's been 1 year since the Luka trade. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's been absolutely a crazy year. And then as he was walking away, I realized we were both wearing Luka 2s.
Aww.
It's sad. Still holding on to it. We'll talk about that maybe a little later today. Anthony Davis was the big talk for weeks that we were talking about an Anthony Davis trade. He's out right now with the injury. The injury to his hand really kind of tampered down the trade talks. Every team that's been brought up for him, it seems like they have a reason to not be in on it anymore. The Giannis deal messes, the Giannis situation messes with a lot of that. Isaac, you were the most adamant of anybody I know about that Anthony Davis was going to get traded before this deadline, and even like weeks ago. Has anything changed for you? Do you still expect him to be dealt?
I do. Yeah. I think we'll be traded before the deadline.
I can't get there. Convince me he's going to get dealt before the deadline.
I mean, I just feel like it's a broken record that I've said the same thing over and over again. And heck, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. I just think it comes down to the surgery and everything. One, his agent has been very adamant that he wants him traded.
True.
And then the moment the hand injury happened and the whole debacle happened with Shams and him and the Mavs press release and all this stuff, and he'll be healed and not reevaluated. For me, that just told me, hey, we want to tell teams around the league that like he's going to be ready for the end of the season and the playoffs. So let's work it out trade. And that's for me. If the Mavs are going to keep him for the rest of the year and shut him down, then he would have just get the surgery and then you're out. Like, you're fine. It's not like it's an ACL surgery. Like, just get the hand surgery and you'll be fine this offseason. So for me, the ramping up and the adamant thing from AD and the camera, like, hey, he's going to be good. He's going to be healthy. The Mavs saying he will be healed, which we're halfway through those 6 weeks now. Like, that's just 3 weeks away. That's just 2 weeks past the deadline that he will be
half healed right now.
But like 2 weeks past the deadline, he will be, quote, healed, as far as, what the Mavs said in the press release there in early January. But so for me, I think my stance has been, I think when it gets closer to the Thursday, I think once we see what happens with Giannis, then I think Dallas will lower their bar just a little bit. And it's going to be like two of those three of like expirings and a young flyer, or expirings and a first round pick that's like protector or something like that. And it's going to piss a lot of Mavs fans off because the values I think is going to be super low. I also don't believe that the value is going to be like skyrocket in the offseason either. I think that's kind of like this like, oh my gosh, let's get to the offseason and we're going to get Cade for him. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm exaggerating, but it's like, I don't know about that either. So I will say this about the Hawks situation, that I'm looking at the Hawks and the Warriors. If the Warriors don't get Giannis, do they circle back to AD for Steph? But you look at the Hawks. The Hawks just made this trade.
Not for Steph.
Oh, yeah, with Steph. Sorry.
For Steph. Awesome. Love that. Maybe, I mean, he's had some recent off the court stories that may want them to distance him. The Mavs would be okay with those off the court stories, by the way.
So the Hawks, I'm not touching that right now.
I don't even know what these are.
The Hawks, they just made this deal.
About to search it
over the weekend. Oh God. The Hawks made this deal over the weekend. They got 2 more second-round picks. They have 7 second-round picks to use now in a trade.
Yeah, wow. Steph Curry, welcome to the Mavs, buddy. Miriam's on the phone.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Do you just want to do a whole segment on this now?
Nope, I do not. I do not.
Okay. You brought it up.
I do not.
So after this Hawks trade, they got a couple more second-round picks. They have 7 future second-rounders now that they can use in a deal. They're $7 million, roughly $7 million under the tax line. So if they do make a trade out there,
You're talking about the Hawks still.
I mean, we don't have to. We can talk about what you brought up.
Keep
you want to talk about it? So Steph made some.
No.
You guys want to hear my Hawks Mavs trade?
Let him finish.
No, I don't have it.
Wait,
No,
so
I'm just saying that the Hawks have
thinking,
the Hawks have a little bit more flexibility now.
And you're thinking that the AD's return is going to be 7 seconds or multiple seconds?
No. I'm just saying they have more second stats where if they gave up a future first, it's like, okay, maybe we have some seconds. Or, hey, Dallas, would you do 4 seconds and Asa Newell and Porzingis and Kennard? Like that's and there's that $7 million under the tax line to where they could take back 6 more million in a trade and still be under the tax. So they're just a team I'm still watching with it. And I just wouldn't.
It's not a bad thought.
I'm not sitting there saying like, hey, I would bet my house on it, but I'm still confident that I think he'll be moved by the deadline. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Would you bet my house on it?
Probably. The thing I don't get though is if they don't move him, like he's coming back.
That's why you're going to shut him down. Like they have to make that choice, or you're going to bring Kyrie back and then shut AD down.
How are you shutting him down though? Like they went through all of that to say no, and they opted not for surgery, and he's working out before the like. You're going to tell Rich Paul no, he ain't going to play. Like
yeah, but remember the first real signs that Nico was going to get fired was that Dumont came down from on high and was like, Anthony Davis is not playing in this game. Like, we're not bringing him back. So there is precedent for this ownership group to come in and actually make a decision on guys playing or not.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels a lot to very vocal and outward focusing from AD and AD's camp that hey, we're coming back and we're going to be healed.
These things work in one of two ways, right? Like they make a big stink about it. They try all these different things. Rich Paul puts all the pressure, and then they either find a trade or they don't. And like it seems like they've looked, and Rich Paul has looked. We know that he has looked and asked teams and all that. And
but I just
don't think they've found one.
Well, it just all comes back to the palatable deal for Dallas.
Yeah, true.
Everybody who reports on this thing, it's not that hey, there is 0 suitors for AD. Every single report on it is there's not an offer out there that Dallas has liked or it's palatable for them to the bar that they want. And that's where I think that bar will lower a little bit before Thursday. And I think it should.
Slightly, you think he's going to be here at the end of the deadline?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't see a trade materializing.
Siley's wanted to keep him though.
Yeah, I'm a big AD guy. I want to build around him moving forward. Like I'd like to trade Coop.
He's been doing this because he wants Dumont to hire him as the GM.
That's right. Whatever you want, Mr. Dumont. And then I'd go to someone like, do I need my owner's signature on this trade? I'm just going completely rogue.
I think AD will still be on.
Is the 25% owner good?
I think he'll still be on the team. I think there is still a chance we see the AD Kyrie Flagg trio still play. I still believe that.
No.
I don't think AD. Let me say this. I don't know if AD plays a game, or I don't know if AD gets traded, but I'd probably guess he's played his last game as a Mav, regardless.
So if he doesn't get traded by Thursday, do you think he is shut down for the year?
I think he gets hand surgery almost immediately. That's kind of been my theory this whole time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if he doesn't, we're waiting for a deal, and if he doesn't get it, then he'll just be like, all right, I'm getting the surgery. That's his. Like the Mavs are gonna be like, we're shutting you down, so you can do whatever you want, but we're gonna shut you down. So he's like, all right, well then I'll get the surgery, and that'll be my excuse to shut down and not have to. But between the three of us, we have very different opinions on what's going to happen with Anthony Davis. So we'll see who's right. Let us know in the comment section who you agree with right now. What vibes are you feeling on the Anthony Davis front?
If Miami gets Giannis, or like the Knicks get Giannis, I am fascinated to see what the Warriors do. If the Warriors circle back, and their whole Jimmy thing is like weird to me, because I'm like, Jimmy's not coming back to like halfway through next year.
Right.
He's one of the oldest players that's ever tore his ACL in the NBA, and it's like, I don't know how you're going to like contend with Steph while having that contract as nothing for a while.
They weren't going to contend with him healthy.
I know, but they're.
I'm saying, yeah. I'm taking that to another level. It's like, hey, you guys are waiting for that. You weren't going to contend with him healthy anyway. So you're going to wait on him to come back to be healthy.
Yeah. So if Draymond is like legitimate on the table for them, do they circle back to Dallas and they're like, hey, is there a world in which like Draymond goes to the Lakers, AD goes to the Warriors, Kuminga and something else comes to Dallas type of thing, or Draymond to Detroit and it's, LeVert, Ivy, Kuminga to Dallas. Just
thought about Draymond in Detroit. Draymond, Duran, and Isaiah Stewart on the court at the same time.
Well, I mean, people try to make the Pistons connection because he's from there and everything, but.
He
I don't know.
It's
just stuff
mentality.
Like those are the couple of things. The thing that I feel like I've heard the most over the past few weeks about the AD thing is the prioritization of financial flexibility over the other things. I feel like that has been a common thing in conversations, and that's why it's made me look at the Raptor stuff of, I don't know if that Raptors thing is gonna be an option at all for AD.
Coming up, let's go around the league. Best team for Giannis. What did Daryl Morey do to Paul George? We'll talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Game Time. There is nothing like being in an NBA arena. The crowd, the energy, the moment. Many moments. Getting tickets, though, that's the part that always has been kind of difficult. I remember when I was a kid, I would walk into an arena or a stadium, and you'd always see guys like on the street corner, like, hey, you need tickets? There's still those guys every once in a while. Now those guys are an app called Game Time. You can get tickets from Game Time wherever, even like on your way to the arena. I've done that on the way to a Dallas Wings game. I went and I was like, all right, I need tickets, and I got them on the way there because the prices will go down right before the event. So you can go check that out. All kinds of things happening in DFW. You got BTS concert. You got a Monster Jam. Spurs at Mavericks. Jets at Stars. Pitbull, Dale coming to the Dos Equis Pavilion. They have all kinds of different things that you can get in on Game Time. And right now, you can take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets and more with Game Time. Use the Game Time app, create an account, and use this code. It's Locked On, just Locked On, LOCKEDON, Locked On for $20 off. Download Game Time today. And remember, it's gametime.co, not gametime.com when it comes to the website on Game Time. Also brought to you by BetterHelp. Everybody has things that they need to talk through. And when you have the snow and the ice and everybody's stuck inside, you're like, man, there are times when everything just feels like it's slowing down and you start rethinking everything in your life. Maybe you're doing some spring cleaning. You're thinking through a whole bunch of other things. And honestly, it can feel like everyone has it all together in their life when you're scrolling through social media and figuring out and like comparing all kinds of different things with other people. Everybody doesn't have it figured out. Everybody has to talk to somebody sometimes. It's easy to assume everyone has the perfect relationship, the perfect life, but most people are just working through something just like you are. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody at BetterHelp. They can help you out, help you communicate better, set healthier boundaries, stop carrying everything alone. BetterHelp has licensed therapists in the U.S., and they do initial matching work for you so you can focus on your goals. And if you want to switch therapists at any time, they understand that. They know you got to vibe with that person. So you can switch anytime, which is awesome. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/LockedOnNBA. That's BETTERHELP, betterhelp.com/LockedOnNBA.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Isaac. All right, slightly. I'm talking about the trade deadline. We talk about the Mavs stuff over and over again. It's a Mavs show. But there's not a lot on the Mavs front. We're waiting on an Anthony Davis trade. Some of us think he's going to get traded. Some of us don't. Naji Marshall was one we thought, that some of us being Isaac and then some of us being me.
I was going to say, is there anyone else besides me?
I don't know. Maybe Rich Paul. Maybe you and Rich Paul are the only ones holding on to that rope.
Rich.
Naji Marshall is one that's getting trade interest. Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson. We've heard some things here and there, but around the league, let's talk about some of these things, because I think the Giannis deal, Slightly has brought this up more than anybody I've seen. The Giannis deal is kind of holding up the league for a lot of these bigger deals that are going to go down. Best team for Giannis, or what do you expect from Giannis, Slightly, this week? Do you expect him to get moved?
I really don't, honestly. I just think I think it behooves the Bucks to wait, just because the offers will be there. I can't imagine Miami is just like, nope, take our offer right now, and we're not going to offer this again in the summer. I can't imagine the Warriors wouldn't offer exactly what they're offering in the summer, and then those teams will have more picks to move come summertime. The Knicks will have more picks to move, and then you'll inevitably get 2 or 3 teams that are like, all right, we flamed out in the playoffs, like we're kind of ready to reset. Right. Or maybe the Spurs are like, all right, we lost round 1, like clearly we're not. Or maybe the Thunder get upset early and they're like, okay, yeah, you know what, maybe it's time for us to mix things up a little bit, in which case you get a bunch of new suitors on the table. So I doubt it personally, but I don't know. It depends. If Giannis tomorrow is like, no, I want out. I want to get traded. Trade me right now. Like, I don't want to do a whole summer thing. I want a chance at the playoffs this year and next year. Trade me this second.
I think that's what they tried to do last week.
Yeah, but he needs to just outright come out and say it, right? And maybe he has. And last week's reporting was kind of like, hey guys, this is what's happening. We don't want to say Giannis demanded a trade because we don't want that stigma to surround him, really. So just know, in league circles, we understand that Giannis might be getting traded in the coming days. So we'll see. I mean, I think Miami, to me, has the most obvious trade package with picks and Khalil Ware, and maybe Milwaukee can talk themselves into Tyler Hero. Like, that's the best combination of, all right, actually good young players and what could be decent picks, versus the Warriors one, which is just like, well, hopefully, Steph retires and Giannis goes somewhere else or retires and they don't pick up anyone else and their picks are terrible, because no one wants Kuminga because he's bad at basketball, and Brandon Podziemski's also terrible at basketball. So, yeah, I just think that's not a very good trade offer, in my opinion. At least not as good as people. That trade offer, I'm like weirded out by it. Like the Warriors state media apparatus, the propaganda they've been pushing over the last few days, like, no, this is actually the best trade offer when you really sit down and think about it. It's like, no, not really.
Loaded offer.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the picks are good, but, the Heat also, picks could be good.
The Heat only have 2 firsts they can trade, right?
Yeah, I think outright.
A 2030 and a 2032.
That's why it makes some sense to wait, just because certain stuff will open up.
Can I play devil's advocate back to you about the summer? Are we sure the offers will be there in the summer if Giannis has more leverage?
Yeah, exactly. That's the summer argument too. That's the argument for trading him now versus summer is, if he just outright says, well, I got a year left and I can sign a free agency, and God forbid the Lakers have a max spot. So that's where I'll be going.
Because the whole case for him to get traded now, which I feel like the whole thing last week with Shams was, that came out for a reason. And
yes, by the way, there's people who are like, Shams lying again. It's like, oh, buddy.
They've been doing that this whole time with the Giannis thing.
I know. It's like, man, it's over and it's okay.
But with the Giannis stuff, if a team trades for him now, they get guaranteed 2 playoffs.
Right.
So even if Giannis is kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to go to Portland, and Portland's like, well, we at least get 2 playoff runs with him, and to try to convince him,
maybe.
Yeah. What if you get to the summer, then Giannis and them have like full control over it, of like, hey, we won't sign the extension at all. Like, they're dictating where they go. They'll still get a good offer. I'm just, once again, even with the AD stuff, I feel like there's so many people right now with all these players like, just get to the summer and it will be like all the offers will be great over summer, and it could, and I think it'll still be a good deal. I think he will have more leverage in the summer.
to piggyback off what you're saying, what if we get to the summer and the Cavs have flamed out, and now, hey, maybe they're looking to shake up their roster, and maybe like a Garland or Jared Allen or a Mobley is on the table. Maybe the Magic are like, all right, this duo, like maybe one of those guys are on the table, or Jaren Jackson Jr. is on the table. Then you do run the risk too of the Bucks saying we have the prize of the entire trade deadline right now, and maybe this is our opportunity to,
Yeah, but Giannis could also be like, I ain't signing in Cleveland. I don't want to go to Cleveland. So have fun.
If the Bucks traded for Jaren Jackson Jr. and they started Miles Turner and Jaren Jackson Jr., would they get a rebound ever again?
I mean, I'm assuming if the Bucks do trade Giannis, I'd have to assume Miles Turner's on a new team, like Ryan Rollins. At that point, aren't you just tearing it down to the studs?
You start way over.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get especially when they get their picks from Brooklyn,
Portland.
The New York thing, I think, would the vibes be immaculate in New York if he goes to New York?
Can I, your play on words with vibes are immaculate?
Yeah.
I see this all the time. If I'm the Knicks, every player on my roster, including Mr. Vibes are immaculate, is available in a Giannis trade. Yeah. I know that sounds like sacrilege, but what are we even talking about?
Yeah, it's like everybody except for Brunson is available.
Well, the one thing about saying except for Brunson is because you need a guard still there.
Yeah,
in some way.
I know, but
yeah, I think Miami is the clear leader in the clubhouse for me. I think that the thing with the Warriors thing is like I feel like you hear this about teams, and I feel like it's kind of like it always drives me nuts. But I think it legitimately happens if the Bucks are like, we don't want him in the East, we want to send him to the West.
It's like more of an NFL thing, it feels like.
I don't think the Bucks should care. I don't think they will. Do I think the Heat have the best offer in total in like general? No. Do I think the Heat have the best offer of teams that like will make an all-in push to get them? Yes.
Yeah.
Like I love the idea of, I mean, if I'm the Spurs, you're not good enough. Like let's just be upfront and you are not good enough to win this year. Yeah, you're just not.
Those two guards, the Harper and Castle, it's like you just
both of those guys will probably lose you one game each in a series. Like that's just how these things play out.
So them not being good enough, you'd go for it if you're there.
Yes. Yeah, Wemby's not, and I love him, and I think he'll end up being the greatest of all time, just greatest basketball player we've ever seen. Maybe not the GOAT resume, but I think peak Wemby will be like, yeah, this is the most impactful player in the history of the sport.
Put down the gummies.
I'm just like, come on, it's insane what he can do, but he's still got a ways to go offensively to get to that point. But why not just? You have a good package for Giannis that they would say yes to, I'd have to imagine.
If you called her like Isaac is still stuck on you saying he can be the GOAT.
Castle, HB, and in whatever contracts, but built around Castle and picks. Let's do it.
Yeah, I do like Castle. I want him to end up in New York just for the fun of it.
You know that the Spurs have a King swap in 2031?
Yeah.
That's an insane pick.
Wait, what? How did they get that?
I don't know. It says own or swap for Sacramento in 2030.
Or does that mean? I think that means the Kings have it, right? Surely from the Fox trade.
So real quick, predictions. What would you be shocked if over the next 24 to 48 hours, it is a direct, hey, Giannis will be traded this week. He is pushing hard with his agent.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's at 50-50 in my mind if he's traded.
When is he supposed to come back? Isn't he supposed to come back like in April?
Well, there's that funny like
they haven't even
I'm out 4 to 6 weeks, guys.
Yeah, he did. He diagnosed himself, Dr. Antetokounmpo.
Doc Rivers afterwards, like, yeah, Giannis did a great job. Giannis did a great job of diagnosing himself.
Is that you slightly?
Is what me?
Some music or something? It's not me.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's
not
Nick.
me. It's not me.
Do you still hear it?
No, sorry. It was louder, maybe.
Hey, do you think it's Jason Kidd hanging out in our recording room just to see what we're talking about? So he can tell us he doesn't care about it.
Are we
sabotaging our production?
We're gonna keep going, right, and just fire off.
Yeah. We're in. Yep, we're in.
All right. So, what do we want to talk about next?
Well,
I thought you had
continuing the Giannis thing.
Yeah,
AD's not getting traded without a Giannis trade. No chance.
AD's not getting traded. Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I think Giannis gets traded first. I think he gets traded earlier in the week. I think it's like a by Wednesday type thing. AD trade happens on like a Wednesday or Thursday.
Do we think I want to be in like behind the scenes league circle so bad? Like, how possible do we think it is that there's like, hey, there's a Giannis trade already like pretty much done and agreed to, and we're just waiting?
Oh, I think that could be. I don't know if it is a case, but I think it could be. Yeah.
I think it's slightly. I think it's the background noise.
But no. Can we talk about the fact that weirdly enough, the Bulls, and this has been on multiple. I never believe these, but I do find it interesting. The Bulls on multiple different sports books have surged today, big time in Giannis landing Giannis odds.
What would they even? I mean, what would it even look like?
Didn't he say something a while ago? Like he would like to play there or something?
I don't know, but is that not a little bit weird that a lot of these sports books simultaneously did it?
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't it be like one moves and then all of a sudden they all start moving because they think they gotta?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they do have a million expiring players,
and they have all their picks. They have all their picks and a Portland one. They have a lot of their seconds.
Maybe he signaled. He's not young enough for Giddey though.
How old is Alex?
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Bulls right now on DraftKings. Which one do we have? FanDuel?
No, yes, we have FanDuel. You cannot say the other one.
Okay. Well, the other one has Bulls plus 450 right now, which is higher than the Knicks, higher than the Heat.
Honestly, though, I know. Jokes aside, Giddey would be kind of fun to play pick and roll with him. Like
Giddey and Giannis, just like we just can't shoot at all.
Who's is Matas the headliner? I mean, like if I'm the Bucks, I'm like, okay, I don't want Vucevic and Zach Collins. Like that's cool.
Well, or Giddey's in the deal.
Like, you gotta add those guys just to get to the salaries. It's probably Buzelis. You throw Kobe White in there, Vooch.
Yeah, I mean all their expirings. I mean Vooch and Collins and. I mean, that's like 30-something million right there. So,
right.
Yeah, and they could get to it. All right, I threw out some topics to you guys, and I just want to kind of hit some of them. This Paul George situation. So,
you want me to play the music?
No, I don't even know what's the solution of it because there's a part of me that's like, how do they get to benefit from it? Like Philly, like how do you? And I guess it's like, hey, well they're getting punished because they don't get Paul George for those games.
No, because the player didn't hold up their end of their contract, and so then they're getting out from under that money for those games.
Yeah, I know, but it's like now they're like closer to the tax. I'm like, alrighty, what happened here?
I would say that they probably threw a party behind the scenes, but Paul George has been pretty good.
So okay, well, just to be clear for everybody, the story is that Paul George was. He was found. They found a banned substance in his system, and so they said that he's going to be suspended for 25 games for drug related whatever the actual wording was, and so he's going to be suspended for 25 games. So he doesn't get paid for those 25 games. So then now $11 million is coming off of the Sixers books because of that. Paul George is making $51.6 million this year, and because of that $11 million, they're going to be able to deduct the tax, which is kind of wild because they're right in there. So they're going to be able to deduct the luxury tax because of this situation. So now there's a lot of conspiracies that Daryl Morey slipped him something something so that he would fail a drug test and then they would get under the luxury tax.
Go easy on my guy Daryl, man.
That's true. Slightly biased follower Daryl Morey over there.
So you're telling me that a team that is looking to deduct the tax, if they have one of their higher paid players test positive for a banned substance, they can deduct the tax.
Do you think Daryl Morey promised Paul George he'd get him certain guests on his podcast in order to do this? Like that was the exchange?
I seen someone call him prescription P and I died.
So if honestly, now that we're saying this, if I'm the Heat, I'm like, wait a second. So you guys are give salary relief for suspended players.
Yeah, how about Terry Rozier? Can we just get that?
Like,
can we just get that?
So tell me we can't trade him? Come on.
Do we have any clarity on that? Because that actually changes I think that actually impacts the Giannis conversation a lot.
This has become my favorite thing in all of NBA podcasts, where anytime somebody brings up the potential Giannis to the Heat trade, they're like, and Terry Rozier, and we don't know anything about this contract. Can it get traded? Like every single show.
I mean, it has like massive ramifications on the Giannis deal.
Yeah.
And everyone's waiting for it to have some kind of like finality to it. Like, we don't know what the league's
Hoop Collective the other day, Bontemps on there said that he was like, I'm really, really confident. And he's like, I'll just leave it at that if they want to trade him, they can trade him. And that it'll be cleared. I'm like,
well, probably like the Clippers could trade Kawhi if they wanted to too, even though that thing hasn't been decided with the aspirations. And
I don't know if that's the same, probably.
You don't think so? A player betting on the league and a player getting paid under the table? Maybe in the same maybe in the same ballpark.
No, but I think there's difference between like league investigation or a league thing with Rozier and Pablo Torre's podcast. No offense to Pablo. Jamal Mashburn.
Yep.
So he played basketball at Kentucky, so big time Kentucky guy back in the day.
Mavs draft pick.
Who wore number 32, by the way.
Maybe that's why he's mad.
A little bitter.
Not gonna be the best 32.
Was he bitter about OJ Mayo wearing 32?
I don't think so.
So my thing with the Jamal Murray thing, which is just, I mean, Jamal Mashburn. I was just reading All-Star stuff a little bit ago. The Mashburn thing, one, he said it with so much confidence about Cooper Flagg.
Jamal Mashburn
Give
was on
the context.
Jamal Mashburn was on TNT, and apparently they were talking about a list of freshmen that were, there was this incredible class of freshmen right now that we're looking at. And Jamal Mashburn said, on that list of college freshmen right now, Cooper Flagg would go sixth in an upcoming draft. He said he would take him over Darren. He would take Darren Peterson over him, AJ DeBonta over him, Cam Boozer over him. And he was like, and then who was they're like Koa Pete, and he's like, yeah. You're like, what? Like Koa Pete is 10th on so many mock drafts and big boards across the.
I think, and I want to say this too, and I feels like I'm gonna take up from Mashburn. He's not the only, like, this isn't just a
Mashburn's not the only.
wild out of nowhere take that Mashburn just made up. Like Nick and I were talking to somebody the other day at the Mavs game, who shared the same opinion and was like trying to talk us into it. Obviously the KOC stuff, and KOC tweeted out a while back. There are people who have that opinion. And my whole thing with it is totally okay to be so excited about this upcoming draft class and to get wrapped up into it, because I think it will be like a historic type of draft class. But by saying, like, you can't be so excited about it and also look at Cooper Flagg and be like, you know what? This class is so good. Cooper, you wouldn't even be in the top 5. And it's like, I think people who say that just don't fully understand how good Cooper Flagg is.
My thing about this that I said in the show yesterday is just by sheer what Cooper Flagg has done his rookie year already, there are never 6 players better than that in a draft ever. Like think about the 2003 draft, like LeBron, Wade, Melo, Chris Bosh. Like even if Cooper Flagg was in that draft, he goes 5th or probably over Carmelo, and he probably goes over Chris Bosh, and maybe even Dwayne Wade, because Dwayne wasn't that highly of a prospect in college.
Maybe even
became
Darko.
better in the end. Definitely over Darko for sure. But like you look at that and you're like, even that draft that was incredible, he wouldn't go 6th in that draft. Like just sheer numbers wise, doesn't make any sense for him to say that.
Yeah, I mean it's the stupidest thing, because if you want to say DeBonza, which I would disagree with, but if you want to say Darren Peterson or I've grown concerned about DeBonza just not playing good against any good teams. Like the nerds might be right on this one. The nerds might be right about this one. They're right every now and then.
Doctors.
Yeah, the numbers doctors, where Cooper Flagg 49 points. Actually, not a good game, guys. Don't know if you know or not. But
that tweet was awesome.
It really was. I was like, what am I even reading, bro? Like, what are even these numbers? Doesn't even make, like, what numbers are out there? It's like, guys, 49 points isn't good.
What in the good Dollar General Andy Bailey stat is this?
No, but yeah.
I love
if you want to argue Darren Peterson and Cam Boozer, like, okay, maybe that's one thing, but once you start getting to the Peets of the world, or however you pronounce his name, I'm not super into the draft just yet. That's where it's like, what? This guy just dropped the most points ever in back-to-back games by a 19-year-old, by a teenager in the history of the league.
That's the wildest part about this is there's one thing to say this at the beginning of the season.
Right.
And now you've watched Cooper play this, half a rookie season, and he just put up 49 in a game. And
I know.
you still say the point.
Well, but that's you can't do it when he's playing bad. You have to do it when he's playing well, right? Like you can't say that.
True. When he's playing well, everyone's like, whoa.
And a guy that I super respect with draft stuff is Sam Vecini at The Athletic. And he wrote earlier in the season, he was like, hey, when he tears off his prospects every year and just does amazing draft stuff. And for him, he's like, I would have Cooper Flagg with these top 3 guys as like those A+ type of prospects, like the Boozer, DeBonza, Peterson. Like Cooper would be on that same level in that conversation with those 3 guys. And so it's like, hey, if you want to say, hey, if Cooper was in that draft class, he would be right in the conversation with, it wouldn't be a home run. It's him above the rest of the field. You want to say Peterson, Boozer, DeBonza's in that conversation with him. That's one thing. But to say he would go 6th, hands down behind Pete or Flemings or at least, I'm like, all right. Come on.
It really is like you said, Nick, like that would have to be the greatest draft class in the history of professional sports.
Yeah.
Like the rest of that clip is he goes in on Caleb Wilson. How Caleb Wilson's going to be like the best player, and I'm like, I like Caleb Wilson, but he's not. He's not.
Well, my favorite too is and this is why Cooper Flagg reclassified.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
deduct the smoke is that why he did it?
Like why? Because he could get guarded by Amen Thompson a year earlier.
Well, it's so he could get. Well, the real reason he did it is to get into his like max NBA contract a year earlier, right? Like,
yeah, the idea that they're just like, yeah, I'm ducking AJ DeBonza.
Yeah, I think $500 million matters more than ducking 3 players in a draft.
Yeah. Can I ask one more thing? I know y'all talked about it yesterday, but thoughts on Kidd's post game presser a few nights ago?
Pretty funny.
We talked about it on the show. I talked about it one more thing, but like it was funny. He got to a point, like he got pushed to the limit with the refs. He was frustrated there. So he comes out and he's like, the refs were terrible tonight. Then he takes it to the complete next level when he gets asked about Flagg playing the point guard. That's been a contentious note for the Mavericks. Flagg playing point guard has been something that they've been frustrated with. And I think it was interesting because the criticism, at least from me, and slightly too, we talked about this, the criticism from me on Flagg playing point guard was not even that they did it. It's when they did it and the position they put Flagg in at that point. Like, and I don't know that Flagg playing point guard for like 8 games helped him level up that much, but I do know that playing him at point guard and not playing any spacing around him and trying to put him in this situation with pressure and right out of the gate and all that did make the Mavericks 2-7 to start the season and then put them in a hole they never dug out of.
Yeah, I agree. That's just where then there was the idea like, well, this player played out of position for 10 games. And it's like, yeah, but you're talking like sometimes you're talking about all-time greats and these guys are going to figure it out anyways. But, I never hated the idea of point Coop. I just thought early season, those lineups were a disaster. Like nobody, the Mavs are on pace to be the worst offense relative to league average in the history of the game.
Right.
Like we can sit here and say, well, it worked. It was like, well, at the time it was so horribly bad for a team that was trying to be good. Like it didn't work in that moment. Like maybe it helped Coop a little bit, but to sit here and do a victory lap over it is insane to me. Like
I can't wait until we're like a couple years from now.
Kid did a victory lap. I'm just saying like, because I've seen other people who are like, yeah, tell him, kid.
He's done it before.
A lot of comments like that yesterday.
Yeah. You tell him. I can't wait to see Cooper after he's won like rookie of the year and he's a couple time All-Star and it's like, it's because he played those 8 games at point his rookie year. He wouldn't have hit the ceiling right now if he didn't play those games at point. And we got another. I just want to give it up to J Kid because we got another submission to I was a former player, so I know more than you.
That's
because
true.
This is one of my favorite ongoing things in all of sports. Because for every Jason Kidd comment, there is a Jamal Mashburn there is a Gilbert Arenas, a DeMarcus Cousins that all played in the league that have takes that are absolutely ludicrous. And then we're also looking at guys like Spoelstra and Sam Presti. And I mean, it's just like that never played in the league that people would say is super smart with the league. And I just love it so much because it's like the ultimate, like, I hate that like Trump has like hijacked this word, but like Trump, it's like the ultimate Trump card of like, well, I played in the league and I'm going to put down my
You're
ace
talking about
card.
the one that gives you citizenship?
God. And it's like they feel like it's like it wins the argument because you played in the league. And it's like, man, I respect the heck out of you for being a legend. And you know stuff about basketball and understand things than yes. But I also seen Michael Jordan run the Hornets and LeBron want Westbrook on the Lakers. So they're like, it doesn't mean you're always the smartest person in the room for basketball. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite ongoing things. I love I played so, and you didn't.
Before the show, we talked about saying what our hottest sports takes are right now, and Slightly said he had one, and I want to hear it.
Yeah, the NBA needs to lean heavily in the fact that it is an entertainment-driven league, and not in the sense of like, oh, inside the NBA, yeah, the garbage product on the court. Oh, it's so bad. Everyone please laugh at our halftime show and not watch the rest of the game because the halftime show guys are telling you the game sucks. But more so like, stop trying to pretend you're the NFL. Like, get rid of rivalry week because it's terrible in its current form. It's just utter trash. Did anyone even know it happened?
We all did because we all made jokes about it.
It was presented by Amazon Web Services.
Cleveland Cavaliers was on the rivalry week. Get rid of it. It's garbage.
I saw somebody have an idea that said it should be playoff series from the season before.
Yep, playoff rematches from the season before all week. That's it. That's what you headline. And just lean into the drama portion of your league. People love it. People love the online stuff. Lean into it. The Eastern Conference and Western Conference are so grossly uneven. So get rid of that entirely. I'd get rid of the entire idea of conferences, at least in their current state, because they are so unbelievably uneven that look at the All-Star teams, man. Kawhi Leonard is having maybe one of the best stretches of his whole career. And he's not at the All-Star game in LA, in his home stadium.
Right.
And Karl Anthony Towns
and Norm Powell
is in the All-Star game in a year where Kawhi Leonard is in, and I'm supposed to look at that and take it seriously. So get rid of like just conferences mattering because they don't. 1 through 16 in the playoffs, best record picks their opponent, and you just go down. That needs to be what they do. 100%.
The pick their opponent thing is wild.
They need
Slightly
to do
commissioner.
It would be incredible.
Who would be the Shedeur Sanders of NBA All-Star Weekend?
Bronny?
Whoever, there's going to be somebody in the skills competition because there always is. It's like, what are they doing there? Kobe Brown. Don't they usually always have a home team does the skills competition?
Yeah. I'm like, hey, the NFL gets it, all right? They need eyeballs on that game. Like, Shedeur, you're a Pro Bowler, baby. It's like, oh, Joe Flacco.
More interceptions than touchdowns this year. It's like,
my hottest take was, I think it was perfectly fine for Belichick not to make it.
Oh, geez.
Oh, come on. You think he should not make it at all? Or you think
first year.
First
Listen,
ballot?
Pete Rose didn't get in the Hall of Fame for how long? And everybody yelled at it.
And everyone hates it.
I know. And I was
he literally
as two people that grew up near Cincinnati, we both know that everyone hates that.
I know. And that's my whole thing is like, it feels like for so many people for so long, anytime Belichick was brought up, it's like, oh, he's a GOAT, cheater. It's like he's been called a cheater for so long for those things. And then when it came to a Hall of Fame thing, everybody's like crying their eyes out because I'm like, do you think he's a cheater or not? So like, I don't really care that it took a year to go in. Like,
the only thing as a hardcore football fan that everyone knows I am right now, my only thing is I've seen enough like coaches and stuff be like, everyone is doing that. Like
everyone's doing something.
Everyone is trying to do type of let's get their signals. Like
my thing in the Hall of Fame has always been if you can't tell the story of the league without this person, then they should.
Yeah,
you can't tell the story of the league without Bill Belichick.
Barry Bonds not being in the Hall of Fame is the biggest snub and dumbest thing, and nobody.
Pete Rose being the hit leader and not being in the Hall of Fame.
Nobody should take the Baseball Hall of Fame seriously. And the thing I hate about Hall of Fames is these voters like really. I mean, they think they are like the most important. And that's why I kind of like the NBA one because they're like, yeah, what'd you average 20 points per game 2 years in a row? All right,
Sean Kemp,
Mitch Richmond. You're gonna Here's your jacket.
Andre Iguodala, yeah, you're in, bro. Sure.
Or like the NBA one, it's like you can be elected to the Hall of Fame like 8 times for anything you've been a part of. And I'm like, have you been to Springfield like 5 times before?
LeBron's already in.
No, Jason Kidd's been in twice.
I love that.
You think he's getting in a third time as a coach?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, probably has
That's
it.
how Hall of Fame kind of gets it because they're like, yeah, whatever.
My sports take, it was also NFL, and it is that every playoff game should be played in a dome.
Yeah. I'm usually a big proponent of, I love the outdoor games. You have to have that element. But that Broncos-Patriots game was the
tough.
worst thing you could ever watch.
There's no way we saw the best team win that game. Like,
No.
I have no clue. Who
I was
better
so
that
ready
day.
for Bill Simmons. If the Patriots lost that one, he was gonna come off firing of like ban all snow games. This was a disgrace to the game of football. And then the Patriots wins. Like, dude, this took strategy.
You know what?
And it's like when we reached the point to where the Patriots were just throwing it out of bounds just to like kick the ball on purpose to like not. I was like, all right, what are we
Like
doing?
imagine they played the NBA games with the slick floor in Chicago when they postponed that game. Like imagine that's basically the conditions they played in.
So terrible.
It's such a bad viewing event. And then you're like, oh, these teams play all these games, make it all the way to the playoffs, they get a bye, you play, and then all of a sudden now you play this game where none of the things that you practice or do anything matter at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I just realized we're cutting into Grammys. So
The Grammys? Give me one person that's nominated for a Grammy tonight.
slightly.
Olivia Dean, best new artist.
Oh, come be the man I need.
Billie Eilish.
Are you just naming artists?
Yeah, I don't know. Who's
Frank
nominated.
Sinatra.
Oh, dude, I rock with some Sinatra.
Posthumously.
Wait,
All right.
I can't hear
Thank-
slightly anymore.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. Go check the QR code, links in the description for different ways to follow the show, including the Everydayers Club. Use that code DEADLINE to get in on the action there and get a free month. Go check out Slightly Biased' YouTube channel. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.
Please, Giannis, get traded.
Yes.
Dogs.